Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed glad to begin my presentation on Salman Rushdie's essay, Imaginary Homelands, which is one of the essays from his book, Imaginary Homelands Essays and Criticism, 1981 to 1991. Now, let's see a short intro on Rushdie. Salman Rushdie was born on 19 June 1947. So he is an Indian-born British-American novelist and essayist, as you all know. He has won the Booker Prize in 1981 for his novel Midnight's Children. And hope you must have heard about the controversies about him. So the satanic verses forced Rushdie into hiding for a decade after Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini condemned the novel and issued a fatwa calling for the author's death. So he was accused of blasphemy against Islam. So now you would have come to know what would be the life of an expatriate, exiled writer like Rushdie would be, isn't it? So now this image from the Times magazine shows the fatwa produced by Ayatollah Khomeini against Rushdie. Well, so now let's see about Rushdie's book, Imaginary Homelands, Essays and Criticism, 1981 to 1991, an introduction. So it is a collection of essays written during the years 1981 to 1992. So this book includes interviews also. It includes a wide range of essays on a variety of topics. It also includes an essay, Commonwealth Literature Does Not Exist. And Imaginary Homelands is an essay that propounds an anti-essentialist view of place. So now let me ask you, what do you think the essay Imaginary Homelands holds on to? So it highlights about the feeling of belonging nowhere, especially an exiled writer like Rushdie knows about this particular feeling of belonging nowhere. So the pain of being an outsider is being constantly highlighted by Rushdie all through this essay. His aim to reclaim his homeland through his literary exercises makes Imaginary Homelands a plea for returning back or redeeming the past of any individual who is culturally or physically dislocated from his homeland. Well, so the idea of the last home is found in this particular essay, Imaginary Homelands. So the past actually embodies his home. And Bombay being his lost city, Rushdie desires to recover his past, not just like a mere black and white movie, but on a grand and vivid scale like that of a film shot in a cinemascope technicolor, right? Well, Rushdie's Bombay. So, being born and brought up in India's Bombay, Rushdie very ardently he discusses Bombay, which was initially a group of 7 islands. These islands have been merged into a single territory under the realm of the British government. So, Bombay, a city built by foreigners, says Rushdie. And being an expatriate writer, Rushdie believes that he too had a city and a history to reclaim. At least I had a city and a history to reclaim, says Rushdie. Okay, so now he relishes the multiplicity of commingled faiths and cultures, which is the very trait of Bombay. Okay, so now what are the characteristics of expatriate writers? Well, Rushdie claims that these are the characteristics of expatriate writers, including himself. So these expatriate writers always have a tendency of looking back. The physical isolation from their homeland brings back partial or imaginary versions of their mother country. So these writers bring up unreliable narrators in their novels who are characterized with unreliable memory. And this actually parallels the plight of expatriate writers. For example, Salim Sinai of Rushdie's Midnight's Children is a paka example of an unreliable narrator, right? Okay. So now Rushdie claims that his past is like that of a broken mirror, right? So he compares his past to a broken mirror because some pieces of the broken mirror are lost forever. So even if you try to keep those pieces of the broken mirror to yourself, you can't redeem or reclaim all those broken pieces. You will be losing some pieces forever. So he compares his past to that of a broken mirror. And Rushdie claims that the broken mirror is as valuable as the perfect, unflawed one. So his past is very much close to him, right? So he claims that even the broken pieces of a mirror can be very much valuable. He says that his past is too valuable for him, right? Okay. And he also says about the fragmented vision of expatriate writers. So he tells that his vision is fragmentary, just like any other expatriate writer. So I'm not gifted with total recall, says Rushdie. So he's pathetic while telling that he couldn't recall everything that happened in his past. Just like Salim Sinai of Midnight's Children, Rushdie suffers in bringing back all his lost memories. So he tells that he is not gifted with total recalling of his past. So he also claims that the memories of his past is just partial, or fragmented memories. So these shards of memories are the only remains of his past, says Rushdie. So even trivial fragmented memories look symbolic too important for Rushdie. So they are very much precious and close to his heart. For us, it may seem to be just a trivial or fragmented memory, but for Rushdie, it is something symbolic or precious or something close to his heart. Well, so now Rushdie's fragmented memory now parallels archaeology. Right. So Rushdie tells that these broken memories are very much valuable because in archaeology, the broken parts of antiquity are kept in much an important place. Yeah, so it indicates the civilization of mankind. So we take pride in that. So likewise, he tells that these broken memories are very much valuable as the broken parts of antiquity. So those memories can be reconstructed, and he tells that it is very much exciting to discover or rediscover those past memories. Well, so now these cultural displacements can plant the migrant in a different place from the past. So these displaced identities are at once partial and plural, says Rushdie. And it's like straddling between two cultures, right? Okay. So Rushdie conveys that such expatriate writers are haunted by a sense of loss. It applies even to migrants, every migrant, for as Rushdie conveys. So, with an urge to redeem the past, they try to recall what all happened in the past. But alas, the physical departure results only in profound or deep uncertainties, says Rushdie. So creating imaginary homelands is the only way of redeeming back the past, claims Rushdie. So Rushdie highlights that as an expatriate writer, he is quite incapable of creating or reclaiming the exact, precise past that is lost, right? So he challenges that as a writer, he can create invisible or fictional imaginary homelands or Indias of his mind, right? So, or his own version of India. So he is quite happy that at least he can create invisible or fictional imaginary homelands or a particular India of his own fiction or a particular India of his own version through his fictional writing, right? So he's glad to recreate his past. So here are some of the quotes that is found in this particular essay. The broken mirror may actually be as valuable as the one which is supposedly unflawed. So again, I quote, it may be argued that the past is a country from which we have all emigrated, that its loss is a part of our common humanity. I quote Rushdie again, our identity is at once plural and partial. Sometimes we feel that we straddle between two cultures, at other times that we fall between two stools. So these are some of the quotes from Rushdie's Imaginary Homelands, and the source is from Salman Rushdie's Imaginary Homelands, Essays and Criticism, 1981 to 1991. So this is just a short presentation of this particular essay. Hope you all enjoyed the session, and thank you all for listening patiently. And this is Wahida signing off. Those who haven't subscribed it, please do subscribe. Thank you.